Since many of you out there are thinking of moving to Florida, and that's one of the main reasons you watch my channel, and if you're new here, by the way, my name is Michael Bordenero, and I make a bunch of different videos about moving to Florida and the Florida lifestyle. So what I've decided to do this time around is I'm just going to jump straight into the houses and the towns, so that way you guys can see those first. And then if you're interested afterwards, I'm going to explain my methodology of how I found and picked out all of these houses. So I saved that for the second half of the video. So first we'll check out the actual towns and cities, and then after I show you all of that, I'm going to explain how I found all these houses. So we'll start from the most expensive all the way up to the cheapest. Number 10 is Ocala, Florida. And here you're looking at a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house at 856 square feet that's listed for sale for $59,900. And this is probably going to be the nicest one on the list too, by the way, just a spoiler alert coming up. It's actually not too bad for what it is, but I don't know this area at all. I have no idea if this is in the ghetto or if this is actually a nice neighborhood. I really couldn't tell you, but it's not a bad price for a house of this size. Number 9 is Fort McCoy, Florida. I've actually never heard of this town before, but here we have a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom house at 479 square feet for sale for $56,000. And it looks like this one actually has a nice yard. It's kind of like a studio apartment, it reminds me of. It's basically a cottage in the woods, and they're marketing this as like a weekend getaway to go do some outdoor activities. So I guess that's probably the main use of a house like this. I'm not really sure. I don't sell real estate like this, but it is available in case you want a cheap house in Florida. Number 8 is in a town called Stark, Florida. And here we have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house for 680 square feet for sale for $55,000. And this house doesn't look too bad. It's got some old carpet in here that I would definitely want to get rid of, but there's no reason why you couldn't move into it the way that it is, and that's part of the methodology that you'll learn about later. I wanted to pick houses only that you could actually move into and didn't have to do a full gut renovation on the place. Number 7. Palatka, Florida, yet another town that I have never heard of before. And here we have another 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house that is 814 square feet, and it's for sale for $54,900. This looks like actually they put a little bit of work into it at some point. It's in decent condition and not a bad deal for $55,000 for a house. Number 6 is Pensacola, Florida. This house is 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and is 754 square feet. And it looks like it has a decent sized yard. It's got some laundry in there. Not the best house I've ever seen, but hey, this is very cheap for a house, okay? It's a small house, but nonetheless, it is your own freestanding house. Don't forget that. It's not a trailer, it's not an apartment, it's a house still. Number 5 is in a city called Chipley, Florida. And here we have another 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. So far, this is actually the biggest one at 948 square feet. So it seems like this one is the best bang for your buck so far as size goes, and a move-in ready house that you could actually buy. Number 4 is in Jacksonville, Florida. And so far, this is the biggest house we've come across at 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and it's almost 1,100 square feet. I don't know anything about this neighborhood or nothing like that, but I don't know why. I just get the feeling that this house probably isn't in the best area. I could be wrong. If there's anybody watching this from Jacksonville, feel free to put a comment and let us all know. But the price is pretty hard to beat for an actual house at $47,850. Number 3 is a town called Graceville, Florida. And here you can buy a house for as little as $42,500, and this will get you a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house at 1,476 square feet. And I guess that would be the new winner for sure as far as square footage for the money. Everything else has been quite a bit smaller than this, and it looks like it comes with a decent amount of acreage and land too. Yeah, this house comes with 1.47 acres of land, and that's not too bad given the price point, guys. So if you're looking for a very cheap place to live that has lots of land, check out Graceville, Florida. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have Panama City, Florida. And don't get that confused with Panama City Beach, because I'm guessing they're not the same town, similarly to how Miami and Miami Beach is not the same town. So this house looks like it's actually brand new on the inside. The outside doesn't look like it's in the best shape, but the inside looks like they actually did a little bit of work and made it somewhat nice. Maybe not totally complete, but you could probably move into this house with just a little bit of effort. And the price of this house is only $35,000. It is only 516 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and that's smaller than most apartments that I see here in Miami Beach. But for $35,000, guys, to buy a house, that's unheard of. Even where I used to live in Illinois, houses cost more than that. So that is extremely cheap to buy a house in Florida. Now coming in at number 1 is yet another town and city in Florida that I have never heard of, called Fountain, Florida. Most of these places happen to be in northern Florida, and in general, northern Florida tends to be cheaper than the southern half of the state. So this one is also another 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It's only 320 square feet, and I don't know if this is even supposed to be a house. It looks like some sort of large storage shed or something like that, but they turned it into a house. I don't really know. But, you know, they did make a nice effort to give it a little bit of curb appeal. They put, you know, the planters on the windows outside and stuff like that, and try to make it look like a house. I don't know exactly who would buy a house like this or who would be interested in that, but I mean, $34,800 to buy a house in Florida. This is as cheap as it gets, and that is as of me making this video today, July 21st in 2020. You can still buy a house in Florida for $34,800. Now let me know in the comments if you want me to make a similar type of video, maybe going over houses that are in a more realistic price point. I'm not saying that $50,000 isn't realistic, because obviously it is, and I just proved that here in this video. But most people spend more than that when they move to Florida and buy a house, and they usually want to live in a pretty decent neighborhood. So if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on that, put a comment below of like the price point you think I should do the next video on, or narrow it down to like certain towns or some other type of criteria. So now let me show you the criteria that I use to actually find these houses. Guys, I also want to mention that I am offering one-on-one consulting calls, and the link for this is in the description of all of my videos now. And basically this service is meant to be for anyone that just wants to jump on a one-on-one Skype or phone call with me and just ask me different questions, maybe regarding moving to Florida or real estate questions, things like that. I have had a few people ask me for help as far as moving to Florida and using me as a real estate agent, and that could be a possibility, but just so you know, that's only if you're going to be moving to Miami Beach or this very immediate area here. If you're moving anywhere else in Florida, that kind of consulting call is not really going to be for you unless you just want to pick my brain and what I think about an area or something like that. But as far as my real estate services, that's only exclusive to Miami Beach, but the consulting call is for anyone that just wants to ask me any kind of question you want. And I'd be happy to jump on one with you. All the details are in that link. My methodology for finding these properties was I drew a line around the entire state of Florida using Zillow.com, and I filtered everything down to single family houses only that are not in foreclosure or coming to the market soon, anything like that. And I also eliminated any type of townhouse, mobile home, condo, whatever. We're talking about single family homes only that are available to purchase right now. And I also decided to take it one step further and just talk about houses that are actually in somewhat livable condition. And everyone's definition of livable condition might be a little bit different, but livable in my definition is basically you could move into it right now without a whole lot of work. You don't need to completely gut the place or renovate it. It's not dilapidated and you need to tear the whole house down and build a new one. Because I did find places like that that are a little bit cheaper than what we're going to talk about here today. Another thing that I did is I skipped any houses that I saw were in the same town that were already on the list. So for example, I have one that's going to be on this list that's in Jacksonville, Florida, and I found many houses that were cheaper than some of the other ones on this list that were in Jacksonville, but I didn't want the entire video to be about Jacksonville, so I just moved on to the next expensive house in a different city. Another thing to be aware of, if you try to recreate this search on your own, you might find some very cheap houses that look extremely nice in Boca Raton, Florida, and I'm picking on Boca Raton in particular because these were the first places that came up that I noticed this problem. And basically what you're going to see is you'll find a lot of houses there for sale that are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Looks like a nice brand new house in a country club neighborhood and all of this. Watch out, okay? Those houses are so cheap because they require you to purchase a membership to live in that neighborhood. Usually it's like $75,000 up front, something like that, plus another 14, 15 grand a year just to remain a member. I'm not going to show you any of those in this list. I just wanted to give you that warning in case you decide to go out and try to make this search again on your own. I took no consideration whatsoever into the neighborhoods or the locations of these places. I'm giving you the absolute cheapest places in Florida to buy a house. So that means it could be in the middle of nowhere, it could be next to a swamp, a serial killer could live next door. I don't really know, but I'm just giving you the cheapest places you can buy a house, and it's up to you to determine that from there. And the last thing to note is that a lot of these houses are not much bigger than a regular one-bedroom condo you would get somewhere else. A lot of them are very small houses, one-bedroom houses, two-bedroom houses, and I guess that's to be expected at the price points we're going to be talking about here. But nonetheless, these are real opportunities, real houses for sale in the state of Florida, and these are the 10 cheapest places where you can buy a house. So there you have it, guys. This is the official list of the 10 cheapest cities in Florida to live in where you can actually buy a house still today in 2020. If you guys want to keep on hanging out with me and see some more of my videos, check them out right over here, and I'll see you guys over there in that next video.